Oh shit. Are we now recording?
Oh, you know it. Uh, sometimes I like to just go off of the vibe of like how the Discord call is before we go live, and
Hmm.
that's what the little preamble to introducing the show is going to be. And
Right.
sometimes if an interesting thing happens throughout the week, I'll try to remember to be like, oh, okay, that'll be the thing that kicks off the show if I remember to do it, because I don't
Of
write it
course.
down because that would be the smart thing to do. And anyways. But instead, as I'm sitting here trying to think of what should we how should we kick things off here?
Hmm.
Earlier, as I was going through some stuff that I mean, we're like very close to the end of the year, so I'm like trying to figure out what games can I still play to make consideration for end of the year stuff. What things can I feasibly actually do, and some other things that I am currently playing and stuff that I just finished. And then I'm looking at the layout for how many episodes left for the year, and this is episode 495. Like middle of December, unless things go awry with things like our recording schedule, we're gonna hit episode 500. And I'm like, the fuck are we gonna do for episode 500? I don't know. I feel like we should do something special. I feel like it should be not a regular episode. You know?
Yeah. But I feel like historically we've never done anything really groundbreaking with the milestones.
Yeah, I know,
Maybe
but
this will be the one, but
500 feels like the one. Like it feels like
it feels like a lot. But yet, what can we show for those 500 episodes?
I mean, listen, that's neither here nor there. For something I cannot mention right now, I was going through certain aspects of things for things. This is a really weird thing to bring up because I really can't say anything yet.
This is so vague. It might as well not even occur.
Yeah, I know.
I was looking at stuff for things, and I redacted.
I was buying pornography.
Graphy.
Um, Anyways, I was going through. It led me to going through sort of a quick history of Pass the Controller, and I'm
Mhm.
like, damn, because it was in relation to when I graduated college, and for some reason I thought there was a bigger gap in between the two things, but it wasn't. It was 2012 is when things granted, the beginning days were very different from what it eventually became, and I took a note of it when we went from being recording a lot less frequently and not to a set
Yeah.
schedule, and we definitely weren't doing it weekly. I mean, it was 2012. I don't know. Things were very different.
We
Literally
had things
everything
going
about
on.
everything was different. We were recording it in essentially my parents' basement or first floor, and
Mhm.
we were playing video games while we were recording. It was everything about it was
Yeah.
very different. We should have. I think you said this before. Probably the last time we had a milestone episode, we probably maybe talked about some of these things, but
Mhm.
I think you had said we should have just been Twitch streaming. We were not doing a podcast. We were just playing video games, and that's kind of
Yeah.
actually what we were doing. But anyways, we arrived at our destination. Regardless, we got there. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. We've been doing this for a long time. And it not 2026, 2027 will be 15 years. That's fucking kind of nuts. I know.
Oh my god. I've thrown my life away.
I feel the same. But I don't know. I'm gonna figure something out. I think we should do something different for episode 500. What that is, I don't know. Maybe it's not even something on the episode. Maybe the episode is normal, but we just do something to celebrate
We
500.
do a different board on the overlay.
Yeah, yeah. Woo! There's confetti. We have a private
How
party
can
for
how
the
can
four
we
of us.
how can we put together a clip show?
So that's the joke I was gonna make was, do we just do a clip show? We don't even do anything new. It is just
Mm.
we go through and clip out 100, 60
500.
minutes ish worth of clips and just
Mm.
patch them together, and then that's the whole episode.
I love it.
I kind of might just
If we had a full-time editor, it would be 100% a thing we could do.
if if I find the time somehow between now and then, which is really not a lot of time, I might just throw together probably not an hour's worth of clips, but maybe I will do
Mm.
some form of a clip show and post it as a whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
That already sounds like too much work. and time that I don't have. So if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, just pretend like I didn't say it.
Yeah, this is not a promise. It's not even a real. It's not even a real goal. It's just a thing that we say.
Yeah, it's just words that came out. I don't know. I thought that was like a because I know we had talked about it at some point that like, oh, 500's coming up. Obviously, it's coming up. We can see the number of the episode, but I mean, 5 away. Like in a few weeks, it'll be 500. It's kind of nuts. It's like the week if we do one a week for the rest of the year, or at least the next 5 weeks, it will be the week before Christmas. So
Oh,
interesting. Which honestly, depending on how the rest of the year flows out and how things are, I mean, it might not be. It might be. It might be like a fun little if we can maybe stockpile 2 episodes or so to have. Maybe 500 can be like a soft vacation little thing, and we like drop those 2 episodes after
mhm.
as like let's fucking reconvene in January and figure out what the future post 500 looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm just saying things at this point with only 2 of us here. So
Again, yeah, we're not known for actually making plans or strategizing. This is just us thinking as if we were better people.
if we were a more well put together, uh,
hmm
if
this was a more like well-oiled operation as opposed to this stinky mule.
yeah, I was literally gonna say you always hear about the well-oiled machines. We are
Mhm.
like when the changed oil light pops up in your car, we've been running on that for like I don't know
Yeah,
500 episodes.
we got rusty gears and fucking I forget what else goes in a car.
I don't
There are things in there.
yeah, I'm sure belts.
Guess
There's
whose car's
belts.
been saying? Guess whose car's been saying like maintenance due for well over 1,000. I know it's more than 1,000 miles because after I got my battery replaced, the number reset and it's already back to like 1,000.
Oh no, Mike, don't play around like that. I just had to with all the stuff I had going on in October.
Yeah.
In the middle of all of that, my car did some real, and my car is like pretty new-ish. It's only like 2 years
Yeah.
old. Uh, did some real weird stuff that I've never seen, and like because cars are if you have like a modern car now, it's like so electric and computer based. Like everything
Mhm.
is gonna just be like, hey, your car is gonna blow up. That's not what happened to my car, but it was like push to start malfunction. Please bring your car to maintenance like immediately. And because of everything going on, I was trying to make an appointment to get it looked at and hopefully fixed. They were super booked out. I had to wait 2 weeks. I had to still drive the car that way. Every time I turned my car on, it was like struggling to turn on. Sometimes I would press the button and every electrical component in my car would just start flashing. Like it felt like I was in a spaceship, like pressing like I don't know. I feel like spaceships are always all crazy lighting up for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like when I turned on my car. And sometimes it would like really take longer than it should to start up while it was doing that. And I'm like, I don't know if this car is going to just explode or I'm going to be stranded wherever I am.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
My concern would be it just turning off while driving because my
That
car,
happened
not
one
my
time.
current car, not my last car, but the car before that, I think it used to either did that or like the steering wheel would lock up on me while I was driving.
Yeah,
I
that
forget how I used to fix that.
it happened one time throughout that quick October window when I was getting on the highway, and thank goodness I was alone in my car because I didn't like. I just had to be like, all right, let me pull to the side, figure out how to get my car back on, and
Mm.
then drive back home, and then back to the hospital, and pretend like that didn't happen just now. Like I just gotta pretend like that's not what's going
Just
on in
like
my car.
this is
I have no other choice.
nope, didn't happen.
Um, Thankfully that did not happen again. You must have been now we're just off the fucking rails. Wait till we get to
We got nothing
500.
else going on. Just yeah.
Wait. I do promise if you're listening to this right now, we are going to talk about Goodnight Universe and Lumines Rise, but apparently we have to get over this hump to get there.
Mhm.
You potentially were maybe in my car. It was when this was in high school. This was,
Mhm.
I believe, this was my first car, the Chevy Lumina. It was like a blue fucking boat. It was like a
I remember the Lumina 'cause I
yeah.
remember one day like we like drove off in it and like left you in a parking lot.
Oh, I don't remember that. Who drove the
Yeah.
car?
One of our other friends. I'm
Okay.
not gonna
Well,
name
well,
names,
that's
but like
I didn't know if it was Dom or if it was someone else. Okay. All right.
somebody else. I remember like I remember us driving off and someone yelling at the window, "You should have known this was coming," and like we just drove away with your car.
I don't remember that.
I'll
Rattle the
elaborate more
details
because I
again.
have
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
details.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't talk about people like that. Interesting. Um, I don't. I was definitely not in my car alone. So it was either you or Dom or both of you or other high school people. Um,
Mhm.
but I was driving on the Revere Beach Parkway, sort of near. It was kind of near. I think it was like one entrance before. You know the intersection on Revere Beach Parkway that is like Chelsea High football field, KFC, Taco Bell, Hohen Palace, and I don't know if the Wendy's is on that corner or if it's a gas station and the Wendy's is a little closer. We're Stop and Shop behind.
Oh, I mean, okay, okay. Now I'm picturing things that you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I think it was the entrance, so the intersection before that. So it would have been
The
like
Wendy's were all the kids that used to like race
streeters.
cars used to hang
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I think the Wendy's is at that one that I'm talking about because the next corner up is football field, Hohen Palace, Taco Bell, and gas. It must be a gas station. Um, so I'm crossing the fucking parkway. I mean, granted, I have a green light, but still, I'm in the middle of the parkway, and my car just fucking dies in the middle of the parkway.
Ooh, I
I
don't think I was there for that. I feel
I
like I've heard this story, but I think I was not there for it.
I forget how we turned it back on, unless we just had enough like momentum to roll through.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, we definitely got my car back on though because I don't remember being stranded there. So we definitely got it on. I don't know, man. Cars.
Yeah, I feel like we all have like very dangerous stories regarding our cars when we were younger. And like we
Oh,
just you can get away with that shit when you're a teenager because you've got nothing to lose.
listen. Uh, I don't. I feel like potentially going to show my intelligence. I don't know. We were in high school. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we were dumb.
Do you not remember? You must remember my Camry and how my that was my
The
second car.
Camry, yeah, the
That
Camry
would
would get
actively try to
stuck in
kill
like
us.
it would get stuck in like cruise control. We would just
It would
he
just
would just
floor
keep
it.
accelerating.
So if you're, I don't know why this would happen, but this car, I think we sussed out at some point that it was for some reason the cruise control would just like activate, and it would just make my car infinitely accelerate. Like it wouldn't just be like it's gonna move at 30 miles. No, it just starts accelerating. It's like I slammed on the
It's like
pedal.
his foot was on the gas.
Yeah, and it would happen randomly and often, and we were in many a predicament. I know Dom for sure was in my car when this happened, so there's a high possibility you were also in there. We're on Route 1. It was almost essentially bumper to bumper traffic, and it decided to do it in that scenario. And like, it's like wrangling what I imagine wrangling a horse is like, because I've never ridden a horse. This is the closest I've been to being in a horse, I guess. Uh, it's like slamming on the brake to try to fight back against your car accelerating. Everything's fucking going nuts. And it was so bad that I had to like pull off the highway quickly. And thankfully, we were able to pull off into like, I don't know. I don't even know if it's still there. It was like a random like used car lot that I don't. It was definitely during the day, so I don't know why no one from the used car lot like tried to come over and be like, "Get the fuck out of
It's
the
like I know
parking
you're
lot,"
having car problems. You want to buy something?
or that too. Um, and yeah, that was a rough ride to my parents' house up Route 1 in traffic, dealing with that. Were you in the car for that, or was it just me and
I don't
Dom?
remember that one. I do not
It
remember that
it
one.
was it's like stained in my brain. It's bad. Uh, But then there became a point. I don't know how we figured this out, but we saw what was getting stuck, and it was something that was triggering the cruise control or something like that. And the solution that we came across that worked for until I didn't have that car anymore was I just always kept a can of WD-40 in my trunk, and I would just lube up that part in the front of my car, and it would help. That I'm assuming that could have also been a super dangerous thing we were doing. I have no idea.
We weren't in the business of buying a new and better car. Like,
No.
you got what you got.
You got what you got, and let me tell you, that thing wanted me gone.
Simpler times.
It was. I think it's why the first car that I actually bought was my first Mazda. I think that's why I liked that car so much, because it was going from like a literal fucking death trap to like, hey, this car works. It just works as intended. It's just a car.
Yeah.
And
Was that the car that you got? I feel like, not that it's important or like you would even remember. I feel like you purchased a car at some point and it came with CDs in the sense that it was like a used car and someone forgot some CDs in the car. I might be misremembering something.
It must have been that car, because I don't think it was. I mean, unless I'm misremembering my life, it went Chevy Lumina, which was also not a great car, Toyota Camry, which, again, aside from the fact that it did try to kill us many times,
yeah,
I think
it was a fine car.
I think the WD-40 was the solution over the years after that, because I did have that car for a long fucking time. Like, I want to say, when it was all said and done, it had to have been, if it wasn't like 200,000 miles on it, it had to have been like 250. I remember being blown away that like the car was still just worked, beside that part.
Aside for the one part where it definitely didn't work.
But I drove that car into the ground. Like, and not only that, when I did buy my other car, someone bought that car off me for $1,000. Like, someone bought that thing
and said, "Yeah, I'll go with it."
I don't know, man. Maybe I should have stuck with Toyota. I have no idea. No, but my Mazda 3 was the next car, and it, like, I had never had. It was used, but it was like, certified, whatever, pre-owned.
Certified,
car.
yeah.
It was great. I never had an issue with it. I loved that car, and it must have been that car that had CDs in it. I forget what the CDs were.
Yeah, I also don't remember what they were. I just kind of remember you coming back with a car and mentioning like, "Oh, look, it's got like Alanis Morissette." It wasn't Alanis Morissette, but like there was like just a CD or two that you probably wouldn't have purchased yourself.
And I'm pretty sure that I ended up accidentally, I guess, paying it forward, because when I traded in my Mazda 3, I'm almost positive I did leave, like, I don't know, either like a J. Cole or Jay-Z album in the CD player.
One of the J's.
Yeah.
Jada Kiss.
I'm pretty sure that I did leave a CD on the way back. Then I went to the Hyundai, and I always wanted that car, and I finally got that car, and I wish I never had that. I mean, I still
Was that the Velociraptor?
The Velociraptor. It was a good car. My actual issue with it is that the car that I was sold had a lot of. It was a brand new car, and it had a lot of issues, and the dealership like kept dragging their feet to address any of them, and it was just like a nightmare. And when I finally got them to fix some of the stuff that they sold me this new car that had these problems off the lot, when they did eventually fix them, like when they replaced the parts in my dashboard and stuff, they like scratched and like bent a bunch of things, and I was like, so now I just have this weird cosmetic problem that you caused. And I was just like, I'll never buy a Hyundai again, and also B, I'll never come here again.
Deal with them. Yeah.
So when I did eventually, I mean, I still kept that car for a long time. I don't know. And now I'm back to Mazda.
Back to Mazda. It's a nice car.
Yeah, I do like Mazdas. Anyways, that was 20 minutes of whatever this episode is. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass the Controller podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about car troubles and very regional stuff that you probably don't know if you're listening to the show. Either way, we have a great show for you tonight. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening, is the anime senpai himself. Some might call him Martini Mike. It's Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
You know how I be.
And how you get down. We got a great show for tonight. It's just Mike and I holding down the ship. We've had some last-minute scheduling conflicts, and this is what you get. So, I mean, this puts Mike now. Is this in the last few months? Let me
Yeah, this is too many.
The leaderboard. This is going to put Mike at I believe this would be your fourth solo outing, at least in the last few months. So I'll add that to the scoreboard because we're obviously not going to play the game today.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, I guess we could do
Gaming the meta. What do you think the score is? 100. Well, Mike's the closest. Is the closest.
Well, I do think that I guess there's two. I mean, there's really three ways we could do this. The one could be gaming the meta, and the way that would work is you just have to straight up get a bullseye. If you get a bullseye, you get fucking 3 points. If you don't get a bullseye, you get nothing. We could do just a multiple choice thing, but I'm not set up for that. Or we could do I'll give you clues I'll give you like a set number of clues and you get like 3 guesses to guess the game or something. I don't know. Like we could do that. I'm not going to do that, but we could do that.
We could do that.
I mean, if you want to do it, I can set up for it.
I don't care enough.
Right.
I'm not catching up to anybody anytime soon.
Well, you can if you get we'll do gaming the meta, and if you can get a bullseye out of the 3 guesses, each correct bullseye would be 3 points. That's the rule. That's the rule.
Gaming the meta, actually, I can't even say. Someone check the logs. What's my hit rate on gaming the meta?
I do feel like there is one of you that has gotten probably higher than what the average would be.
It certainly isn't me, because I'm typically the one that ends up getting boxed in by the other two. I will pick a number and they will pick something on either side of me, which means unless I am dead set, it's going to be closer to one of them.
No, well, that's why I rotate each one, so it can't be a set box in. So like, I usually just go in order across the cameras. So it's like, it goes you Todd Dom, Todd Dom you Todd. So that like each person has a chance in being every slot. So that, you could be on one of them, the choice of where you want to place your peg,
Right.
Anyways, we had a great show for you tonight. Like I said, we're going to talk about Goodnight Universe Lumines Rise before we wrap things up. Before we do that, though, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass the Controller podcast sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty from the Salem, Massachusetts on, I don't know, they just extended their hours again. I believe now they're Thursday through Monday in the off season. So I don't know if you saw their latest video.
I definitely saw something that said that they were open. I know they were open like Monday. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, I think Thursday, Monday. I think you're right. Yeah.
They're doing Monday. Over the weekend. At least Chubby's on Monday. I don't know if they're doing Fatty's on Monday too. Maybe they are, but they just put out a video recently, like either today or the last few days, that was talking about how. I mean, I like how Eric was a little cheeky. He's like, it's the off season, and as a lot of places are closing down for the season, we're extending our hours, and we're calling Thursday night date night. So,
all right.
Added Thursday into the mix.
I might pop in maybe this Monday for breakfast.
Got to get those chubbies. But we get, Goodnight Fatty is great. So check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty, at Good Morning Chubby. Educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. And if you're in the area, definitely head on down and let them know Pass the Controller sent you. Other quick housekeeping things. The PDC Movie Club for November is Mike's pick, and it is Fargo as what feels like the never-ending reminder the last few months, and I'm sure for the rest of the year with the holidays and everything else, the movie episode is normally the last episode of the month. I would just, if you're looking forward to that episode, it may end up being a different week. It just, the holidays and other things keep changing our schedule, unfortunately. So it's been less consistent this back half of the year with the movie episode more specifically. So I don't want to say we're going to record it the last week of November and then we record it, week 2 December. So just keep that in mind. What I can tell you is that if for some reason things get moved around, episode 500 will not be a movie episode. So you can at least bank on that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing for certain I can say. I'm going to eat my words now. We're actually going to watch every video game movie for episode 500.
Shit, that was my plan. That was be my next movie pick. All video game movies.
Video game movies ever. That would be like, I don't know what, a 12 movie feature? No, there's going to be more than 12. 3 Sonics or 2? 3? 2? 3?
There's 3 Sonics. Like, I mean, listen, this is not the time or the place, but like, considering video games really started in the, let's say, 70s, 80s, I'm just making sure that I'm not forgetting some obscure 60s movie, because it wouldn't be a 60s movie based off a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are we dealing with? The original Super Mario Brothers movie.
Correct.
We got some Mortal Kombat, some Street Fighters, all those Resident Evils.
I feel like there's
Doom.
a lot of Resident Evils.
Doom. There's at least 3 Tomb Raiders.
I forgot about those.
Yeah.
I think there's an
We got Uncharted. Yes, there's an Assassin's Creed movie. There's a Prince of Persia movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely not doing this. We're just listing movies right now.
Just off the top of our heads, like
excited. Detective Pikachu.
Detective
I don't
Pikachu.
know if we would count the Pokemon movies because those are based off the anime, I would say.
Yeah, and like Pokemon just ends up in the weird spot where I think just because of the way it was released, I think people would consider it distinct from the games. Like even if you're just talking anime, some people are like, yeah, it's an anime, but I don't really think about it like an anime. I just think of it as a cartoon. Like it just happens to transcend it in that way. So yeah. Did I say Uncharted?
Yeah.
Uncharted. Oh, there was that Monster Hunter movie that came out.
Yeah. I feel like we're missing another modern one. I don't know why I can't think of it, but I do feel like we're missing another I mean, there was a World of Warcraft movie. That's not what I was thinking of, but there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I feel like there is another modern one.
You're making me think that too.
I really could just be confusing it with like something that has like a modern show, like obviously there's, Last of Us and like Cyberpunk and stuff. But I feel like there's another.
Yeah, there's another thing.
I'm trying to think.
We got the Mario movie. We got the Sonic movies you mentioned. I feel like whatever this is, I probably would have seen it in theaters, right?
I mean, there's
not necessarily. I didn't watch Monster Hunter in theaters.
There's the two Final Fantasy movies. 3. There's Advent Children.
There's Advent Children. There's Spirits Within. Am I forgetting one?
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about like theatrical release movies. We there's probably a lot more if we just talk about stuff that exists like off of box office, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a streaming only, like only on fucking Tubi.
Anyways, we're not gonna do that, but that's a thought.
It's an idea.
It's definitely an idea. Cool. I guess. Oh, one other housekeeping thing. So year 2 of the Indie Game Awards, we are again on the judging panel for that. So we'll be assisting a large panel of all great people who will be voting over the next set period of time to determine the best in a bunch of different categories celebrating indie games. If you want to check that out, which you definitely should, you can watch that at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, Thursday, December 18th. And you can watch it on IGN and GameSpot, but you should watch it on 6-1 Indie since they're the lovely folks that are putting this together. So you can watch it on IGN, watch it on GameSpot, but you should definitely check it out on 6-1 Indie. You can go to their website, which I believe, let me pull it up just to make sure. is just 61indie.com. Yes, and then there's also an webpage for the Indie Game Awards that you can go to. That is indiegameawards.gg. So make sure you head it over there. If you go to the Indie Game Awards website right now, you can see all of the categories and nominees per category, and as well as some of their signature awards, like the Indie Vanguard Award, the Muhammad Fahmy Storyteller Award, and Industry Impact, as well as community picks. You can vote for a community pick from now until November 24th. So you get 10 days to get in there and do the community pick. Lists all the presenters who are going to be part of the presentation, the hosts, and then all of the people who are in the judgment panel with us. So if you want to see who else is going to be voting to solidify who wins these awards, you can go over to that website and check it out. But cool stuff, and we're honored and thrilled to be a part of that yet again. So make sure you tune in on December 18th. All right, that'll take us to the two games in review for this episode. I'll start with Goodnight Universe just because I know you haven't played it. I don't know if you anticipate on playing it. Did you play Before Your Eyes?
Nope.
Okay, they're both good games. I think Before Your Eyes is the same developer, or same. I think some of the developers of Before Your Eyes went on to make this new studio called Nice Dream that made this game, Goodnight Universe. But Before Your Eyes is, I think, one of the best games I've ever played. It is so good. You should definitely play it, Mike. It is very, if I remember correctly, it's very quick. Like, you can play it in one sitting, and I would recommend playing it in one sitting. I think you can probably beat it in like an hour or two. Goodnight Universe a little bit longer. I think it's like probably 3-ish, 4-ish hours. But Goodnight Universe is great. It does a lot of the same things that Before Your Eyes does in terms of how you play the game. So if you're unfamiliar with both of these games, they use camera facial tracking for you to play the game. So the camera watches your eyes. So when you blink, it corresponds to certain controls in the game. So blinking and closing your eyes is a big part of Goodnight Universe. There's a little bit more to this camera tracking stuff in this game that Before Your Eyes didn't have. Before Your Eyes essentially was every time you blinked, it advanced the story, whether you wanted it to or not. So that was a very integral part of the storytelling process. And sometimes, because blinking is just like a natural human body movement for most people, you would blink involuntarily and maybe miss something and skip something you didn't want to do. So it was a very unique experience. It offered like a very different type of way of engaging with stuff. And Goodnight Universe does similar stuff. It just doesn't have that, at least not that I noticed. It doesn't have any, like, if you blink, it pushes you forward uncontrollably.
Yeah.
But instead, you were doing other things with your eyes in that game. And you're also, in certain moments, frowning or smiling will also alter things that are going on, which Before Your Eyes didn't deal with that. So it expands upon some of the techniques that they're implementing with the camera, but also specifically with the eye stuff, it is doing something, I think, both very different in how you're playing the game and also just tonally how it shifts your relationship with this game and the story that's being told. Goodnight Universe is also like Before Your Eyes is a very emotional journey that fucked me up the first time when I watched it and the second time when I played it myself. That game, extremely emotional. I went into Goodnight Universe with like zero reading anything about it. I was just like, oh, it's the same team. Oh, it's an eye game. I'm already going to play this. Don't want to know anything else about it. Don't need to know anything else about it. Just going to go into it. I set myself up initially for not like to be disappointed by it, because I'm not disappointed by it, But initially, my snap reaction was, this game is not as emotional as Before Your Eyes, and I was hoping that this game, I was like gearing up to play a game that was going to make me very sad, and that is not the case. The game still has emotional beats, and some of them were good, and some of them were fine. Um, but it is like a sci-fi sort of mystery type situation that's going on. That I did enjoy the story. I think there's some stuff. I won't like do any story spoiler stuff. I think there's some stuff that works really well and hit really well. I think there's some stuff that I wish they did a little bit more with, like kind of just, it wasn't like an unanswered threat or anything. It was just more of like a, oh, that's an interesting thing about, that person or this character or that story beat, and I kind of just wish there was more to it. Um, but it's not a spoiler to say that you play as like an infant that has a 6 month old baby that has like psychic powers, and that's sort of what you're doing with your eye movements, smiling, and you do use the mouse to like um, interact with certain objects and like do certain psychic ability things, like, oh, I'm going to open this cabinet with the swipe of a mouse or something like that. So it's it's a very unique experience. I would still very much say like play Before Your Eyes, but I think that if you like the concept, I think that the stuff that Nice Dream did with Goodnight Universe is very interesting. I think there's some like genuine moments of uh, good introspection on yourself as you're playing. Like one of the sort of main sort of themes in the story, and I don't think this is giving anything away to say this, is the idea of like your inner self, like what you really are and what you choose to show to certain people. And I that that idea, it like hit home with me about just certain points in my life, and sometimes feeling like not being my true self around certain people or whatever it may be. And I liked that a lot, and it did hit with me. um I think that some of the lower points of this game for me were the concept of you're a psychic baby and you're on sort of on rails at certain points, and it's a little bit more action focused where you're using your eye blinks and other types of psychic abilities to like defeat enemies. Is a weird thing because it's like, yeah, there's antagonistic forces, but it's really just like you're kind of interacting with the story in that way. But I feel like some of those more action oriented moments were not like as tight as the controls maybe should have been, or it could have been me. Maybe it was my camera, but it just, I like the concept better than how it worked sometimes, and I think it pulled me out of the experience a little bit in certain moments, just because I was like, all right, I get it, and it's interesting and fun, but also like I kind of want to just keep going with the story. I care less about blinking at a camera to blow it up or something. I'd rather move along with what's going on. The other thing I will say, unless I just lost the point, was, I don't know. I forget what I was going to say. I was going to say something else about something in the game, but I think I lost my point. Um, Either way, I really enjoyed it still. I think they took a lot of swings, and some of them connected and some of them didn't. Um, I also wrote a review. If you want to hear more concise thoughts about it, you can head on over to passthecontroller.io and check out my Goodnight Universe review, where I gave Goodnight Universe an 8 out of 10. So still a great game. Still had a really good time with it. I definitely think that there's a lot to enjoy, and probably a little bit more to unpack. I don't know if I'd play it again anytime soon, but I do think that if I did play it a second time, I'd probably maybe take some connections out of other story beats and character interaction stuff. Oh, that's the thing I was going to say. And I wrote this in my review too. Both of these games, heavy reliance on eyes seeing, sight, your eyeballs blinking as a mode of control, but also just like how they are interacting with you through that unique input mechanic. Before Your Eyes, super focused on being a game to do with what you are seeing and how your eyes affect that. There are because it's about blinking to advance things, whether you want it to or not. In Goodnight Universe, not having that forced mechanic, I feel like this game felt like it was more reliant on your hearing, where there were long moments where, not long, that makes it sound, I think, derogatory. There were moments where you'd be closing your eyes for, a little bit and listening to the characters talk, because that's how you needed to, like, you were using telekinesis to listen to their thoughts?
That's telepathy.
Telepathy. What telekinesis is moving things?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, using telepathy to listen to their thoughts. So you'd be closing your eyes to do that. And I think it gave me a stronger connection in this game to like using my sense of hearing. And all of the voice actors in this game, phenomenal. I don't know who plays every character, but the main character, the baby that you play as, who probably you hear talk the most, is the actor that plays the quote unquote villain in Thunderbolts. I forget the actor's name. Pullman, maybe?
Louis Pullman,
Louis Pullman. He's the baby.
Bill Pullman's son.
And he's great. So all of the characters are great, though. The voice acting is great in the game, which I think is very important because, again, I think this game is a lot more about listening to characters talk. But 8 out of 10, I definitely think it's worth checking out if that idea sounds cool to you. Before I hop in and talk about Lumines Arise, I know you're still early in your journey with this game, Mike, but how are you feeling about Lumines? And I'm assuming this is your first time playing a Lumines game.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. But you like rhythm games. I don't know how you feel about puzzle games, but
I want to say I like puzzle games,
okay.
but I think what the case is that actually I'm not smart enough for them. Or like I think I like puzzle games, but then I have to actually have to think. I'm like, oh shit, no, I can't do this. Never mind.
That's fair. What I will say, especially if you're new to Lumines, or maybe it's not the case, maybe it is. It kind of feels like this in my brain. I grew up playing Street Fighter, so sometimes when not as much anymore, but there was definitely points in my life where it's like, oh, I'm gonna try to play Tekken or play Mortal Kombat or play some other fighting game that doesn't have like similar to Street Fighter controls. It feels so bizarre to wrap my head around playing the game for some reason. And that was me with Lumines, because I didn't play Lumines until Lumines Remastered came out and came to the Switch. And I played a lot of it on there, but it took me a while to sort of learn how to play the puzzle game, because I don't really know what to like. It's not really the same as I don't really know what puzzle game I would link it to the most.
Mhm.
Like kind of like a Mean Bean Machine, but not really. Like it's
Yeah.
not the same, but that I guess that so maybe like Puyo Puyo, but also not the same. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like for me it was a matter of trying to unlearn you know, how I would play Tetris or something like that to wrap my head around playing this. I don't know if you have that same grapple, or if it's just simply you have to learn how to play the game and you don't have any like.
I think you have to learn how to play the game, because essentially what happened was when I first started playing it, it gave me that brief tutorial that I kind of skimmed through. Like I watched it, but I guess I wasn't paying that much attention to like what I'm supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
and I would routinely lose like maybe 2 or 3 songs in. And I was like, all right, how do I get to this tutorial again? Because I'm clearly missing something.
Yeah.
So I found the tutorial, I went through it again, and then I think there's a couple. So wherever I found the tutorial, there was like other
There's more. Yeah.
like there's some more stuff there. So I went through a couple more of those things. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I understand what you
Yeah.
want me to do.
And
So then I played through again, and then I'm like, oh, I think I'm doing good now. I'm watching these bubbles get bigger. And I'm like, all right, I think I got it. And then I finished the level, and I still got a D score. I'm like, okay, never mind. I don't get it.
yeah.
I'm not doing it right.
The score is I mean, I'm not playing for high scores. Definitely not Lumines. Because
I'm not playing for high scores either, but you get a D, and then you hear like boos. So I'm like,
well,
okay, this is.
come on, get
This,
with it.
I'm not trying to get high scores, but I don't want the game to actively hate me.
That's fair. That's fair. I will say though, like, I do think the tutorialing in this game is good, and especially if you want to go deeper, there's like more to look at if you wanted to like try to really get better at the game or like play with higher level techniques. Like it's all laid out, and I think it's pretty uh, helpful because Todd is also starting his journey in this game, and
Mm.
he was like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm like, did you skip the tutorial? Do the tutorial because like it if you try to just go in like I know how to play a puzzle matching game, the concept of Lumines is easy to understand, but playing it is a whole different thing. Especially because what I think this game, what I think Lumines has always done well is it's like a rhythm puzzle game because of that timeline bar that goes across, clearing everything out, and it has
Yeah.
good visuals and great music, and that's how all Lumines games, from what I understand, because I've not played them all, are. They all function the same way and have that good music and all that stuff going around with it. So it is sort of a puzzle rhythm game, and that's kind of where I want to take what I start saying, but I want to let you finish some of your initial thoughts with where you're at, other than just learning how to play Lumines.
I'm not even sure what else I could say about it. Like I'm enjoying the music.
Yeah,
Um,
some slaps, and you're
and
still early, and there's still like I'm like excited
yeah,
for you to get to certain levels where I'm like, there are definitely levels I've gotten to where I was like, oh, Mike's gonna fucking, this is gonna be Mike's fucking shit.
the way I'm playing this game, unless I have like a real epiphany moment, I might just have to wait for a soundtrack to come out because I don't know how far I'm gonna get.
I just bump it to easy. I here's
I could.
here's my big brain take with Lumines. I think Lumines specifically, the journey mode, which is the single player, which is what you're talking about and playing, I think that it is strictly just an experience that you need to get through. Like if the game is too hard or you're struggling, like I don't I think you can put on like you don't lose mode as well. Like it wouldn't knock you out. Like you could still continue through the thing. I
Oh,
think it just won't give you a score at the end, or it won't put it in the leaderboard or something. But the journey mode is so good. Like it is worth playing through just to experience what it does. Um, and I said this because I also wrote a review for Luminous Rise over on our website. You can check that full thing out over at passthecontroller.io, so definitely go check that out as well. But so the studio Enhance that made this game is the same studio that made Tetris Effect Connected, which came out a few years ago. And I loved Tetris Effect Connected. Tetris Effect Connected is like easily one of the best Tetris games, and I can absolutely see people's argument for it being the best Tetris game. But what that game did was it took a game like Tetris that is, I could also see an argument for saying Tetris is a rhythm game to an extent, but I wouldn't say that myself. Like just like the rhythm of playing the puzzles, like in like maybe just you personally getting in that flow state, getting in a rhythm, I could see the
yes.
argument for that. But I would not call it a puzzle game, rhythm game. Tetris Effect Connected, on the other hand, injects. I'm assuming you haven't played Tetris Effect Connected.
I have not.
So it's the same thing with Lumines here, where it's like a lot of these visuals, a lot of good music, and there's just like all of this extra going on around what you're doing. In Tetris, it seemed like it was a departure to some extent for what Tetris is, but it still worked really well and was something worth experiencing. And with Lumines, it's that same feeling of like all of this extra stuff that feels really good to experience, but it makes so much sense being a part of Lumines because that's already the Lumines experience to an extent. So it really just felt like what a Lumines game should have always been, in my opinion. Like, this is what Lumines should always be going forward. Tetris can be a bunch of different things. I would never say no to a Tetris Effect 2, but I just like this, the way that Enhance makes these games. It is so much more of a emotional connection to these games. It's so much more of just like, really, like, to not sound cheesy, like, it's like a mind, body, soul thing for me. It's like capturing all of my senses and making them fire synapses all at once. Like, it is absurd how they're able to do this. I hope more people have that reaction. I hope you, if you haven't been, get to the point where you're having that reaction, Mike. If you do some digging on Enhance, the studio who made this, they are like, do you know what synesthesia is?
Yeah, it's where you've got like two senses, kind of. If I'm thinking about the right thing,
Uh, Maybe there is a more generalized definition of synesthesia, because anytime I've ever heard of synesthesia, I've heard it in
it
relation to
was always
music.
about like you sounds make color, like you see
Yeah,
colors
yeah,
for certain sounds. Yeah.
like the common. I think that's the common reaction to people who have synesthesia, is that like sounds and music make them see color. So that like blending of like sensual response to things that for most people do not give you those same sensory responses. Um, they have a synesthesia lab at their studio where they're like, with their games, they try to evoke these like emotional responses from how they create the music to the game, like how everything works together to sort of create these uh, moments for people. And I definitely get those reactions. It is a weird thing to say that like when I played through Tetris Effect, it like made me emotional at moments. When I played through Lumines Rise, it made me emotional at moments. Like when I was not at home playing Lumines Rise, I was looking forward to going back home to play Lumines Rise because it was giving me all sorts of like I don't know. It was just giving me so much of, for like a cheesy thing, like a connection to the game. It was just so it was evoking so much emotion for me. So it's a great Lumines game. Like if you just want the next Lumines game, I think it's a fantastic Lumines game. Like if you like playing the puzzle aspects of Lumines, it's the best I've played. And all of this other stuff is just like cherry after cherry after cherry on top of how good this game is. Um, there are other modes in there. I mean, like you were saying, there's like the tutorializing thing and things that help you get better and more technical, and just like if you want to be better at the game or chase higher scores and stuff like that. There are things built in there to help teach you how to do that stuff. There's also the playlist mode where you can. So like the journey mode is like you're playing through all of the music and stages in the game in the order that Enhance crafted everything. So you're playing basically like sets. Like each step of the journey is either 4 or 5, maybe some are 4 and some are 5 songs in a specific order that transition to one another that they set up. The playlist mode allows you to create your own transitions. Like you create your own song, how you want the songs to play. You can put as many or as many as you want or whatever, and play through those together in your own little thing, which I enjoyed doing a few different times with some of my favorite songs that I wanted to keep replaying. And then there's the multiplayer suite, which I didn't dive too much into because for me, like, I can hop online in Tetris and like maybe hold my own a little bit. I already know I'm gonna get rocked in Lumines, so like I'm not trying to play it that way. At least not this game. This game is like such a relaxing, meditative experience for me. So the multiplayer stuff is there for the people that want it. It's just not specifically my bag in this game. Um, but that stuff's there. There's leaderboard stuff. Um, and then there's like the collectibles that you can get. So I believe they're called Lumines is the currency. Maybe the Lumines are little avatar people. I don't remember. But
Yeah, I'm not sure.
you get currency for playing the game, and then you can go into whatever that little section is called. It's in the top right. I forget what it's called. And you basically like roll for new cosmetics, and it's just like you spend 300, you roll for a new cosmetic, and it can be nameplates or titles or avatar outfits, and maybe there's one or two other things. So there's that stuff too. If like you like to collect things and you want to have cool nameplates and stuff like that for your online facing self in the game, that's all there to keep you playing more. But for me, it's really just like Journey is the thing of this game, and Journey is like where this game is at its peak. And I was very, very satisfied with the Journey mode, and I will definitely be playing through Journey again at some point. I'll definitely be playing the playlist mode to play some of my favorite songs. It's just, they really, really just knocked it out of the park. Some of the transitions in the Journey mode are so, so good. Like, one of my favorite ones, and it's early, it might be in the second section, so you might be coming up to it.
Close to it.
Yeah. You're starting with the level or song is called Slice and Dice, and you're cutting through you're matching together different like fruits or vegetables, and there's fruit flying around the screen, and like it's just such a elegant and like relaxing vibe. And then once you beat that level and it transitions into Code X, it's like such a harsh, not in like a negative way, but it's just like such a harsh, drastic tone change from like, realistic looking fruits and vegetables and things are flying around to like, here's very hard, like shapes and like a fucking just beat that's just banging down on you. And it was such, when I did it when I got through that for the first time, it was just such like a fucking whiplash, like a positive whiplash, if that's the thing. Like it was so good. And there are so many moments like that, and there's so much good music. Like I love the music in Tetris Effect. I think the music in this is probably overall better, which is like crazy for me to even think that that's the case. But it's just some bangers. It's so good. What else can I say about this? There's a new mechanic in the game as well called Burst, which I don't know if it's tied to how many times you clear stuff.
I think one of those things that I saw in the tutorial that I still didn't fully grasp. But they God bless them, they tried. They tried teaching me, and I just won't learn.
Yeah, I think the burst meter goes up per clear or something, or it's in relation to that. So once you pass 50%, you are allowed to hit burst. Obviously, if you get it to 100, it'll last longer. But what burst allows you to do is when you activate burst, the next match that you make, it won't clear out, and you can continue to make that match larger. And it will do that for a set number of amount of time based on what percentage you activated burst at, and that allows you to make some crazy combos, like get some real big screen wipes if you're really good at like matching that up. But also if you're like me, and sometimes the game can be challenging when the tempo goes up and certain songs are flying at you. It was definitely like a safety that I kept on hand. I was like, all right, I got burst. I'm going to just chill on this for a little bit. And if I hit a high tempo moment or the song transitions too hard, I'm just going to like save it to try to get myself out of a sticky situation, which it definitely did a few different times.
Yeah.
But
it also makes, I think, whatever one you're making a combo of, I think if the opposite color is above that combo, I don't know, at some point like those ones will just fly off the
Yeah, they
screen. I'm
fly
not
off
sure
the
how that part
screen,
works.
and I think they all land back down as the same color so that they can clear out again. I think. Um,
Oh.
again, I like it is funny because if you ask me like all of the granular details of the puzzling aspects of Lumines, I don't know if I'd have every like even with Burst. I feel like we're not fully grasp around that. But to me, this game is so it's such just an experience that like I'm not there to be Mr. fucking technical puzzle player. I'm there to have an incredible you know, quote unquote journey. And yeah, I don't know. Luminous Rise is one I would absolutely not skip this year if you are, you know, looking for something to play right now. This is something I would try to squeeze in. It is fantastic. It is so close to being a 10 for me. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It is fantastic. Like this is not getting deleted off my PlayStation for probably, I don't know, a long time, if not ever. It is that good. It's really good. And if they end up porting this to other stuff like Tetris Effect, I think was also a PlayStation exclusive when it came out, and then eventually went to Switch and Xbox. I I own physical copies of Tetris Effect on Switch and on Xbox because I never want to not have access to this game because I love it. So if Lumines also gets ported, I'll end up downloading it elsewhere as well because it's that good. It does make me sad. So when I played Tetris Effect for the first time, I did get to play it in VR on PS4. I don't have a PSVR 2. I don't think I ever will have a PSVR 2, but I do need to find a way soon to play this in VR because I can only imagine that it is an incredible experience because Tetris Effect was as well. So I can only imagine it's just taking all of those additional, I don't know, moments that are just like emotional and sensory overload and amplifying them up even more being in virtual reality. But yeah, I think this is one you should try to prioritize at least getting through Journey, Mike. I think you'll have a good time seeing it through. I think it's like very much worth it. Plus,
See what I can do.
I just want you to know I want you to know the bangers. Like I want to be like in the car, fucking driving a fucking I don't know, get a drink somewhere, and then like I'm like on shuffle and fucking I don't know, something pops on and we're like fucking jamming out because I'll be jamming out, and right now no one else can jam out with me because I don't know anyone else playing this game, and no one else.
I mean, if it's a banger, they'll still jam.
One might think. Who's to say? I don't know. That's all I get. 9 out of 10. Luminous Rise. It's fucking fantastic. You should play it. Everyone should play it. What else, Mike? Got anything else? Is that everything?
That's all I got.
Do we want to play some sort of game or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then you're getting 3 parentheses points added to the scoreboard, and they can deal with it when we deal with it. But that'll do it for this week's episode 495. We appreciate you. Like I said multiple times throughout the show, you can find all the stuff we do at our website, passthecontroller.io. If you are a friend of the show, fan of the show, and you want to support us, there's tons of ways to do that. Easiest way is to just leave us a quick 5-star review. Wherever you listen to the show, just leave us a quick 5-star review. It's super helpful in helping us continue to grow the show and do awesome things for you. If, as a reminder, we record the show live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you want to catch us live, if you want to watch the show but can't make the live show, just go to YouTube, type in Pass the Controller Podcast, will pop up over there. I think I'm backlogged on putting the video version on YouTube. Okay. So I don't need to get into a whole sidetrack or tangent about my personal life, but things have been very. I've made some of them public. A lot of things have been going on in my personal life, so I've been trying to keep up with this stuff as much as I can over the last 2 months. So the there have been weird like gaps of no audio and then 3 episodes coming out on the same day. So like I apologize for the weird cadence of stuff. I'm just trying to keep things afloat in all aspects of my life. If you are a video watcher on YouTube, all of the episodes are uploaded. I just haven't had a time to like make the art and edit everything that needs to be edited in the YouTube aspect of it for me to then just switch it as a public file. So like they are all there and will eventually be turned on, this one included. Maybe I'll try to do all that this weekend because there's like
I'm
six
I'm
episodes.
trying to envision the person who only watches a YouTube video because they're getting this information after the fact. Like it's
Yeah.
already uploaded. If they're seeing this, like, oh, now I know why this happened.
But yeah, they'll be, oh, okay, that makes sense. I feel bad. I feel bad for cursing them out. I feel bad for leaving a 1-star review. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, granted, I like to have them up there for the few people that may be, this is how they ingest the show,
How
but
they
also,
podcast it.
it's nice to have that archive. I like having the archive there. I wish we were doing it for longer, to be honest. I wish we had a bigger amount of the show on YouTube because I don't know when we started doing that, but it was not forever. But anyways, now I'm just rambling. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.